Yo, I had a love for y'all because y'all don't come in my inbox telling me that I'm a bad human being for saying Halloween is overrated. You know what I mean? Halloween it's for kids only, I believe. You know what I mean? And I discussed with the people that I was talking to this about is like when I grew up, I never went trick-or-treating. You know, growing up in Youngstown, Ohio.
Once?
Never went, not that I remember. So if my cousins, anybody, if you guys remember us going trick-or-treating, send me a picture or some shit. But I don't remember ever going trick-or-treating because like, it was more of like, it's more dangerous to be out that late as a child in the area. You know, you'd rather play it safe by staying home as opposed to all the other things that are going on outside. So like, I never trick-or-treated until I moved here. And I had to be like, 12, 13. At that point, you're like, all right, bro, I'm too big to trick-or-treating. I went like 1 year with my boys and then, we did a different type of Halloween stuff after. But like, I never got to
15.
You what?
15 was the last time.
15 was the last time you trick-or-treated? Yo, grown ass man trick-or-treating, yo.
I was with my little brother or something.
Alright, I'll give it to you. Yeah, it's like, when you get to the point where like you feel like it's uncool.
Nah, you get like that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely getting to it.
Yeah, and you're walking around and you're seeing other people, like little kids, and you're like, what's the fact that when you're pushing little kids out of the way, they can't get it?
That's why you're knocking on that door. Like,
yeah. Like, it's time to hang it up at some point. Like, hey, any of y'all, like, who are holding on to this Halloween childhood thing, I get it, it's cool and all that. And I love horror movies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Horror movies are my shit.
Yeah.
I love them, but like, I don't correlate, scary movies with Halloween. I correlate it with like weird shit. People just wanting to, dress up weird and let's be real, like people want to dress up like, less clothes and like more scandalous, which I'm not opposed to it, but like, let's call it what it is. It ain't Halloween, kids Halloween that we grew up on. It's some other shit now as adults. Y'all gotta admit it. I'm speaking to y'all ladies. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome back to the What's That Noise podcast. I'm your host, Keith Johnson. We have a special guest today. Good dude, man. And I just recently met him and I can call him a good dude. We've had some great conversations in our short time together, riding along in a van for a company that we work for. Yeah. We ran into some cool customers, some weird customers.
That's for sure.
But it's been dope to have a conversation with someone who's on the same path as you, especially as men. I was gonna say, men never sit down and talk. You know what I mean? It's almost like unless it's like some generalized stuff like, what time's the game on, or like who's playing tonight, or like, are we gonna have a couple drinks tonight? Those general things. It's never, how are you feeling? Like, what you going through in life? Unless it's like your bro. You know what I mean? And even that, it's hard to sit down. Like, I have a friend that I've been friends with for like 15 years. And I can talk to him about almost anything. But like, some things, like if you're going through shit, if wifey or anything, if life is hitting you over the head, sometimes it's hard to sit down with your boy and be like, yo,
100%.
I'm fucked up right now. You know what I mean? And I know it because we were talking about, we've had similar situations where we've had to, kind of check our friends and bring things up to them and, kind of even distance ourselves if it's not good for your mental health, So those things we're going to get into as well. Love my mental health, and he's a big advocate of mental health as well. But for the intro, so, and I know you're going to kill me for this one. So our guest today has been in, he's been in a few movies. He's won 2 Grammys. He was in, you guys ready for this? I don't know if you're ready for this. He was in The Hangover. the main guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Cooper. Yo, you didn't think I was gonna let you get away with that shit?
Nah,
so yeah. So y'all, okay, so we're writing the story for you guys. We're riding in the truck together, right? You know, we're talking about the job. We're headed to our job that we have to go to. It's probably about an hour away, right?
Yeah.
So it's about an hour away for this drive. We get there, you know, we're driving, you know, we get to a customer's house. We leave the customer's house and your mother calls, right?
Yep.
His mother calls and I'm sitting in the passenger seat and all of a sudden he's just like playing with his hair and saying he looked like Bradley Cooper. Yeah. He's like, Mom, how do you like my hair? How do you think my hair is? And shout out to your mom because she kept telling his ass to cut that shit. She said, oh no, cut it. He's like, no, I'm going for my Bradley Cooper look. I think he might have said Bradley Cooper like 6 times in that small window, which was like 5 minutes. But I see you cut it though.
Yeah.
Now, did mom influence you to cut it or?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I don't waking up with bad head, having to do something. You know,
right.
It does get old.
Yeah, it got it.
Yeah, it did.
But it was so funny to see the transition because like you were on that wave for like, I mean, a full 10 minutes, man. You were just like,
oh yeah, we getting the funniest arguments, man.
I was like, yo, he is really on this Bradley Cooper wave. He ain't cut his hair, and then so he travels, so he doesn't live next to me. We live a couple hours apart. But he came back, and I noticed. I said, yo, wait, actually, I didn't even notice yet. You came out and said you cut your hair. Yeah. I said, wait, what happened to the whole Bradley Cooper deal? Yeah. And you said, I don't know, man. Gotta chalk it up to an L. I don't know what to say. I'm like, damn, you were so fucking adamant about it. Yeah. You should have kept it, man. You should have said, fuck you guys.
I really should have.
And kept it. But let's be real. We got my boy Mike Dunn in the house, man. Let's go. Mike Dunn is a great dude. He got a lot of ambitions, man. He's actually yesterday I was having a bad mental day yesterday, you know. Again, as men, we can't admit that, you know. Yeah. I was having a bad mental day yesterday and I text Mike, you know, as I was going through some shit. Mike, being the person he is, hit me up and said, yo, what's going on, man? We gotta get shit done. We gotta keep pushing. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Like, you can't let things affect you in the moment so much that it affects your future endeavors. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. I tend to, you know, end my past, and I'm getting better at it, get stuck a little bit in certain spots, and then I dwell on things like that, you know. And I'm sure you've probably been the same shit.
There's so much.
Yeah.
What I learned from it though is like when you do that, you're only wasting time.
Yeah.
You know?
And how did you come to this realization? Like, did it take a while, or like did you?
Oh, dude, it wasn't just in one day. No,
right.
I've done it multiple times. It's like, even in arguments, when people argue, like I don't hold grudges.
Right.
I don't ever do that.
Right.
We'll talk it out. But obviously, when you gotta push away someone,
you gotta
come back to you.
Right. And that point is hard. Like, it's hard to separate. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially for people you love and respect, and like, you know, I think we get lost in how many years you've known a person as opposed to how good the person is. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey man, I've known you since I was fucking 4 or 5 years old. Like, if you're doing shitty shit continuously, then you're just doing shitty shit continuously, and we're not on that same lane. That doesn't mean that I should be like always running back to you or accepting your apologies or accepting what you're doing that's bad
That's
stuff.
What it feels like.
You know, just because we grew up together, you know?
Yeah. And you don't want that relationship to end.
Yeah, you don't.
If you didn't do that, then
right.
Apart.
But it goes to the point that, like, you know, people, they take advantage, you know? They take advantage of your mental strength. Honestly, some people, like, and I'm sure with you, like, they think you can they see you handle so much. And it's like, oh, that's nothing. Like, he'll figure it out. Like, it's like, almost being used as a punching bag sometimes, like, you know?
Yeah, or like, he'll stop talking about that topic.
Yeah.
He'll forget that conversation.
Right. He'll forget some bad shit that, you know, I did, or like some disloyal shit that I did, and like, we're just gonna proceed because you've done it so many times in the past. Like, you forgive and you've moved on, and like, you know, it's just like, as men, man, we go through life kind of blind sometimes, as opposed to like, especially with feelings, right? Our feelings, I feel like, are always connected with our girls. Like, you know, the person you're dating knows you better, way better than. And think about this. You know, the person you've been dating for, not you in general, anyone, the person that you've been dating for a year probably knows more about you and understands you better than your boy of 15 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Because yeah, we open up that vulnerable side.
Yeah, we open it up, and it's that's I mean, you can even cut that in half. You can say 6 months a girl you've been dating will know you better than a lot of your friends that you've known for years. And that always like confused me. Like, why is that? Like, why can we open up? Feel so comfortable open up to a female, which I get, but like this is a person you've known like basically your whole life.
You want to know why?
Yeah,
because you sleep in bed with them.
Yeah, you're right. No, and that's a bit.
You got that intimate connection.
You're right. That is, and it's a different connection than you would with your homie. You know what I mean? So you think that?
Boys,
Yeah. So you think that opens the portal to you spilling your guts?
There's really no other difference.
Yeah, there isn't. But I also feel like females kind of pull it out of you more. Like they reach and grab it.
Well, they care more too.
Yes.
They're like.
Yes. They want to. Because they notice it back. They notice it more.
Yeah.
I would say that. Because like you can hang out with your boys for fucking, an hour, 2 hours, and he could be going through some shit and you wouldn't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But his girl will instantly know, like, what's up. You know what I mean? Maybe there's the confidence that they will divulge that information. Like, they know, like, they can get it out of us. But like, even with me, man, like some of my best friends, I'll sit down with them and like, you're a little nervous to ask, like, yo, what's going on?
You kind of feel embarrassed.
Like, like, how are you gonna judge me? Am I gonna be like soft? Am I gonna be a soft person? Are you gonna think that I'm, weak? You know what I'm saying? So like, how do we get to a point where we all, as men, you know what I mean, and for everybody, but we open up more with our boys? Because I think that's where there's a huge disconnect. Is you are hanging out with people for years and like, do you really know them? Like, do you really actually know these motherfuckers that you're actually spending your days with? Like, you know them, but like, there's a deeper surface. Do you know this person's traumas? I can tell you there's maybe one of my friends, not all my friends that know any of my traumas. And I have, my close friends, there's probably, about 6 to 10 of them. Only one of them might know my deep traumas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like, but do you think that's something that we should be talking to our boys about, or is it just like, nah?
Well, I think we chop it up in our head like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal, but in reality, it really is.
It is a big deal. And before I got on my mental health, kick in the last like 2 years, and I attribute it to a lot of working with adjudicated youth and trauma-affected children. So like, my background and working with children, we had to take all these classes, right? So it was like, can I help somebody if I'm not helped? Yeah, but like there's a different level of help I can help if I am taking care of myself mentally. You know what I mean? If I can offer different advice if myself, I am in a decent place where I'm healing, as opposed to like, me just out there just spewing shit when I'm going through hell as well. You know what I mean? So like that job really taught me a lot about mental health awareness. Because before that, I thought it was like something like, that's just like media. That's just a term that people are using. It's not a real thing. I was a negative person, in a negative place. I attracted negative energy as well. So that's one thing too. Like we talked about it. Well, I'm like, hey, a negative energy attracts negative people. So like you bring negative. I learned that I attracted negative situations and negative people. I tried to change my thinking probably like 3-4 years ago to a more positive situation, and I attracted more positive people. You know what I mean? And it's just that simple. It's weird to say, like, it's not, there's no recipe. You be a positive person, you do the right things in life for the most part, because no one's perfect. You attract positive people. You know what I mean? And again, we fucking met out of nowhere.
Connected immediately. It's just, it's proof, man.
So, like, in your life, has that come up with you? Like, were you ever in a negative spot in your life where you attracted negative situations and negative people?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, as the years went on, I started to understand it more.
Right.
Like, it really started, like, being at the skate park.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all had a common ground.
Yeah.
Like, we understood each other.
Right.
And then just over the years, I started to learn it more in the work environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people will say, oh, the best job in the world, best retirement, best benefits, all that. And I went in there and I was just, the era, like, the people, negative, I was like, no. Yeah. Literally sacrifice. Like, that's probably one of the best jobs to have. And I was like, no, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Like, if the people around me are, like, positive.
Right.
Good, like, that's.
Right.
It's not worth it.
It's not, yeah.
Because then that's just going to come on to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to ruin you.
Yeah, and we had a discussion about, like, along those lines of, hey, the job could be great, like, you might like what you're doing, but like if you have a toxic environment that comes with it, then that brings I don't care how much money it is, I don't care how much you love the job, because eventually it's going to seep into everyone. It's going to seep into you. It's going to become more of a hassle than it is a reward for you, because you're going to be dealing with toxic people, toxic situations. And you're like me, we can kind of go in and engage people pretty fast. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of get it.
Catch it.
Yeah, you can catch what people are going through.
It's still affection. You can bring that shit home too.
Yeah.
And then give it to your girl.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and it affects you in every aspect of life. And honestly, sometimes it's too late before you catch it. You know what I mean? It's already, you're so deep into shit. You're so deep, like you're rooted into how it is already, how mad and anxious you are about things, and how the office sucks, and how people's morale sucks. Then that don't affect you, man. I'll bring that to my kid, my girl, like anybody who's in my life, like that can transform right to them. And I wasn't aware of it more as a youngster. And you're young, and again, Mike is relatively young. For Mike to know a lot of stuff that he knows about mental health and how serious he takes it, young. You know what I mean? They're like,
so they can guess my age.
Yeah. We're gonna do. Yeah. How old do you guys think Mike is? So we'll reveal that after in the comments, shit like that. But how old do you guys think he is? Because after this interview, we're gonna how we talk and things like that, how he talks. I think you'll be surprised at how young he is. But I'm kind of giving it away. Whatever age he is, like you'll be surprised.
I'm actually really old.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So we're gonna dive into some things. First with work. So story of how we met, right? I recently started this new job, and I had been there for maybe a week or two, and I was there in the shop my first couple of days, and I didn't know who was gonna be there and who wasn't. Like the people I met weren't actually the people that worked there. They ended up being travelers.
Yeah.
So like I thought the people that I was actually meeting were gonna be people I was gonna be like with every day. Come to find out that was not the case. I was going to be hanging out with a bunch of travelers from different areas. Not like people from if you're from my area, Rochester, Syracuse, and things like that, Albany. And it was like everybody left one day. And I'm like, where's all the actual techs that work here? Long story short, there wasn't any. I was like gonna be one of the first few ones. So like a couple days later, man, if some of you guys are like really close to me, you're my close friends, we've been together for years. This guy walks in, right? And if you guys know me and you've known my situation for years, you know my past friends. So the guy walks in and he looks like literally like exactly pinpoint like this guy who I was really good friends with, who lost his life years previously. We were really close friends. We went through a lot together in life, and it just that made me stop.
Yeah.
I said, what the I texted my boy. I'm like, I just had like the weirdest situation happen to me. Like, this guy who's at work today looks exactly like one of our boys, and I said the name, respect to him. And I'm like, this is freaking me out. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is eerie. Like, and I didn't come up to you right away. We didn't talk right away. I'm not sure exactly how we started talking, but I'm there, and like, we're speaking, and it's like the same type of personality and people, and like good dude, and like the same type of energy that I got from my boy. I'm like, this is so fucking weird. Like, am I like that? Like, no, really. Like, am I, I'm in a different world or some shit like that. And I was texting my boy. He's like, no, you're not. And by the way, so I don't know if you saw my boy the last time we were done work and dropped me off.
Yeah.
He saw you, like the boy I was on the phone with down at the light. He's like, he looks exactly like him. He's like, I'm freaking out right now. I'm like, I told you. You know what I mean? So long story long, so like that's how we connected on that level, but it was more of like, like I went on the road with you our first day. First day, man. They're like, I don't know how it had to be you, because usually I'm a little nervous to jump into like topics as like manifestation, things like that. And we started somehow talking about like, going through life and the battles of life and how we've had so many ups and downs in life and like all the shit we've been through and like, how we connect with, how we deal with situations that, hey, it was these random people in our lives, how we're gonna deal with it. Mm-hmm. And you had told me like, you had traveled and you had went to was Daytona, right? Or went to Daytona for work. And you learned a lot about yourself. And to be honest, that conversation and you told me how you made it down there and like the things you had to endure, that told me everything I needed to know about you. You know what I mean? How you, I don't know if you want to explain, you had moved from here down there with our company to work for our company down there. You know, you had lived with a family relative and things like that, and you had kind of, you know, there was a falling out, and you kind of made your own way, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you said you had built, you know, the the structure that you showed me. I'm like, what the? Yo, this guy's gonna build your guys' houses one day. Like, make sure you call him for that. But yeah, talk to me about how it was moving to that shop and how it was different.
Yeah, crazy, and definitely a shy person. So anyway, COVID hit. And they didn't want to be laid off, and I chose to work.
Right.
And my girlfriend, I've been with for 5 years, was actually one of the only people that really supported me to do this.
Right.
8 months, you know, I'm in debt. And, I mean, for your girl to stay with you for 8 months,
that
jump right there and do that.
Means something.
You know what I mean? So she supported me and said, go do it. My dad lives in Florida, so I ended up transferring there. You know, I'm a young guy. I've only been with the place where we work for like 2 years at this time, so like I'm still pretty not new, but like
you're green still.
I'm confident. But like going into a whole new shop, 13 technicians.
Right. Probably different atmosphere, I'm sure.
Oh, oh man.
I mean, going from Rochester to Daytona, Florida, you gotta.
Well, as far as like living space, like my dad, who wasn't really around, you know, he wanted to try to do something for me, so he said I can move in. And how I ended up building that room in the garage is because, as great as my dad is, he didn't want me taking up his tattoo room. So I ended up, I was okay, I'll just build a room in the garage. No, there was a window. No heat. No AC.
Oh, man.
So, and I could have bought those things, but I didn't. And I slept on some cheap futon from Walmart.
Wow. See, and
that shit hurt my
back. He still has back problems to day, guys.
For real. I wake up
like the point. So, like, you know, when you're going through this with their father, and again, that's, you know, that's a touchy subject because, like, me personally, you know, same situation, in and out with my dad, same thing, you know, and you know, I think we have to give our parents some slack sometimes, but you also have to protect yourself. You know what I mean? You're not just a punching bag. Just because I'm your kid doesn't mean you get to do and say what you want your whole entire life. I can choose to move a different way, and you know what I mean? And we love our parents. Like, that's always going to be there. But, like, we have to normalize, hey man, this is wrong. Wrong is wrong. I don't care who you are. If my dad, if your mom, brother, sister, wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? So, like, that's one thing I'm learning is, like, hey, wrong is wrong. I don't care. Like, before I wasn't able to say to my boy, like, you're wrong. I can't, like, you've been wrong a couple times. I gotta move away from you. Now it's like, yo, I'm in a space now. And I'm like, yo, I've done a lot or whatever, if I did or didn't. And then you moved weirdly and my mental health is being affected because of it. Hey, I gotta move a different way. Do you know what I mean? And that's how we were. And the fact that you were telling me the story, right? You were saying that you had built this structure that he sent me, guys. Maybe I'll be able to post it. I was like, yo, did you like fucking just build houses out of nowhere? Like, what the? It was like an actual dope structure. And like, so where did you have the ability to even do that?
Just years of experience of just going to construction, going job to job. I mean,
Did you have this discussion with your dad? Like, hey, I'm putting this addition on. Like, I know you know.
Well, I mean, he was like, well, you can have the tattoo, but I really don't want you to. So you can build it in. I was like, okay, I'll build it in the garage. I mean, not helping once.
Not one time did he come out and say,
didn't help me.
Now, you know, he didn't think you were going to actually do it. That's what it was. He didn't think you were actually do it. So, like, as you're building this, he's seeing this and he's just like,
oh, that's cool. That was it.
And how long so after you got this structure up, which again, I'll post a picture, it was dope. Did you have a TV and shit in there? What did you have in there?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, well, you were gaming, obviously, right? Yeah. What the fuck were you playing?
Bro, stop it. Fortnite.
I want to bring it up.
People are hating on Fortnite. No one camps in Fortnite, okay? Call of Duty, you get those guys peeking out the corners.
Alright. I get it, but like, and we talked about this because this is one of our first conversations we had. I said, yo, but like, I tried Fortnite, but every time I try to kill somebody, like, he fucking built a castle in a half a second. Like, I'm shooting at the guy, and all of a sudden it's like, he's at the top shooting at me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And do you still play? Are you good at it still? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna play outside.
Man, see, that's all the disconnect. I play Call of Duty sometimes here and there. But he be on that damn Fortnite. And
I played all the Call of Duties. I mean, like, let's look at the new one that's coming out. Vanguard.
You gotta get it?
No. Well, that was like the same one that would they come out with World War III.
Call of Duty, we love you, by the way. If you guys are cool. Like,
switch it up a bit. Right. But the same thing.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like
that is true. They do need to be more innovative. Yeah. What about Battlefield?
Wasn't really a Battlefield guy. No, it was. The shooting, like, I feel like you put a whole clip in someone and they're still alive.
It was more along the lines of like vehicles and shit. I feel like it's
you're doing all that running around.
Yeah, right. So if all their games out there, Mike plays Fortnite. Make sure you follow. Well, I'll put his Instagram and all that shit up, and we still got a lot of shit to discuss because he also is working on his brand as well, which is dope. Which is called Restless. Dope, man. We're going to discuss what you're gonna do for merchandise and things like that. Hopefully I can be on board and help you, or I'll definitely be purchasing some things like that. We'll put links below and things like that. But so back to Florida. So you're there in a new environment, new office. Like, did you think you had, and you're fairly young, did you think you had the confidence to just okay and do that? Like what was your mindset walking first into the shop?
I'll go through it. So I mean, first day I was kind of.
Don't be shy out here now. Like, don't be shy out here now.
All right. Well, I said a funny joke.
Okay.
Something like really personal.
Yeah. To who? About yourself?
To everyone.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like first day, first meeting, they said, "Hey, this is Mike Dunn."
Right.
And then they came around, like walk around the story, and they were like, "All right, tell us about yourself."
Yeah.
And. So I told them the story. I can't say that.
I know, I remember the story you told me, but yeah.
So I told them, it was something very personal that you don't just say out there. Broke the ice, and some guys are cool, some guys are just old stricklers.
Right.
But I mean, I did find, I had 2 friends that I still talk to this day. I still talk to him today.
That's dope, man.
You know what I'm saying? And he was actually there for me when I was before. That was a huge advocate.
So you had a support system, man.
Yeah, but just by where I work, the work environment, you kept connecting with those kind of people.
Right.
Like how we did.
Yep.
He was there, and here's actually a story I was thinking of that I didn't tell you yet. So midway in Florida, and I'll backtrack, this is just proof, how, can't rely on people around you.
Yeah.
Who's in your circle?
Yep. And it doesn't have to be family. It's just who's in your circle.
Exactly.
Yep.
So this guy, John, John Hurley, he works where we work.
Yep.
So I was visiting my family in New York. We were going through some things, with some people, and I was on my way back. Come to find out I was at the wrong airport.
Oh, man.
My car is an hour away at a different airport.
Right.
It is like 3 a.m. But you as a dad, what would you do for your kid?
I mean, I'm coming to get you.
You're coming to get me, right?
Yeah.
My dad said, "Oh, that sucks."
Wow. Yeah. And the unknown area where you don't know much about.
I don't know nothing. I don't know anyone around.
Yeah.
And this dude, John, he has a motorcycle, so it's like, he can go back.
Yeah.
But I had a lift scheduled.
Right.
How much do you think that lift was?
I mean, how far were you going?
An hour.
Oh!
To my car at another airport.
That shouldn't be 200?
Nah, 116.
Woo!
When I got to that airport, canceled out.
It canceled out?
Disappeared. And I could not get a lift. And the other lift was more than that. It was like 130. And it kept going higher and higher. And I was trying to get one. Yeah. They kept disappearing. Because they're being taken up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anyone here. I called my dad. He's no help. He literally was like, nah, I can't. I got work tomorrow.
Which is crazy. That's it. Yeah. Like, you're coming into my world. And you, that's
what I'm saying. John, he got me a lift. I don't know how he did it because I was looking on the same map.
Yeah.
He got me a lift.
He was able to navigate and get you one. Yeah. Wait, so you had already met him? Or you had not met John yet?
Oh, I had met John.
You had met John, okay.
Yeah, right in the beginning, we kind of hit off.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
Yeah, and we were pretty close.
All right, so John hooks you up, right? He gets you there, and then what?
That's he got me a lift to go to my car, and that right there is when I realized. Like,
that's a cool dude.
I can't rely on my dad.
You can't rely on your dad, right?
That's sad to say. He's more of like a friend figure than a father figure.
Right, and you know what? I think you're younger, but like my generation as well, like, we're not too far, but I feel like, a lot of our parents were kind of like more of the friendly type. And again, our parents went through a lot. You know what I mean? It was a different era, different time, and things like that. And I understand. And mental health was not what it is today. We weren't talking about it. We weren't.
And that's him.
Yeah, that's the key.
He asked me for advice. place.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
And when you told me that, I get, you're my son. Like, I have a son. So, like, I couldn't fathom one day me asking my son for a
I was like, wait, I'm like waiting for the part where he says, okay, I'll come get you.
Yeah.
No, that was it.
It never came.
That was it, man.
And how was you guys' relationship today, if you want to discuss?
Civil. Because in reality, like I said, I don't hold grudges.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you only get one dad.
That's rare.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Because, a lot of people would hold that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, he's done some other shitty shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Blaming me for child support.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you more.
And I've heard that story.
That's your fault.
Yep.
You're right. That.
Yep. And I've heard that story.
So it's just like, I don't want to have that. Because I've heard a lot of people say, a lot of successful people say, like, if you have hate in your heart, like, you're already losing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially if you want to have that positive energy, and you have hate in your heart, that's not going to work.
It's not going to bounce out.
It's still going to come right back out.
Yep. And, it's funny because, like, I discussed, like, me losing my mom at a young age, and we had got to the point where it was more like, hey, I'm not mad. You know what I mean? Like, we're in this predicament. We'll get through it. But I understand, like, the way you grew up is different from what I grew up in. You know what I mean? You guys grew up in, especially, my mom in her area, like, she grew up in a shitty situation with a lot of things. You know what I mean? It was an uphill battle. She had a lot of kids, you know what I mean? And I was the oldest, so I had to do a lot of things at a young age. But, like, it made me, like, reflect of life, man. Like, the person I am is because, like, I had to go through some of those things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I would be if I hadn't. That was you.
Yeah. I don't regret that. I wouldn't change any of that.
Right.
I'm glad everything that has happened.
Yeah, and that's strength, man. To go out there and say, hey, I'm building my own shit. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I felt like at the time, but I was just keep going forward.
And we had discussed too, what you had enlightened me about greatly was the debt. Like you said, you had set a goal. You were down there for a reason. You know what I mean? And you had, even through those times, if you want to discuss, like you were down there for a purpose.
Yeah, I was down. So I was in time total. I was there for 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I went there with all my credit cards exceeded over the limits.
Right.
And that interest works.
Yeah. They're gonna get it and more.
And so I had about like 7,000, maybe if not more, credit card debt.
Right.
And I was like 13 months behind my car payment.
Mm-hmm.
My car payment a month was $430.
Right.
So do the math.
Right.
So, and this is what I'm saying. My dad wasn't really the best. What we influence on you, right? When I had an extra 500, he would say, "Oh, let's go to Disney."
See,
no, I'm gonna put that in my car. He's like, "What about food for the week?"
Yep.
And best food in the world, Muscle Mac.
Muscle Mac.
It's $1.79 at Walmart.
What is that? I never
mac and cheese cup.
Wait, why is it called? You call it Muscle Mac?
No, it's called
Muscle Mac.
Yeah, it's protein mac and cheese.
Yo, have you guys ever heard of Muscle Mac? This is my first time, and I've been talking to this motherfucker for weeks. So Muscle Mac is a thing.
Yeah.
And it's macaroni and cheese.
$1.79 at Walmart. It's like $2.19 at Walmart.
Yo, he knows the fucking prices. Yo, this ain't the fucking prices, right? Believe. All right, so you're there, right? And you're eating this fucking muscle, and you're working on your debt. So you're changing your spending due to your goals, which is again at a super young age. That's super rare, man. Like that's some shit 40-year-olds can't even do, and you're doing that at your age. You know what I mean? So like, how hard was that to not? And you're in Florida. How hard was that to not enjoy yourself?
How many activities do you think I did when I was in Florida?
Not many. One thing. What'd you do?
Me and John went golfing.
That was the only thing you did?
That was the only thing.
And you were there for how long?
8 months.
8 months.
I mean, I would go to the skate park, but that's free. I mean,
that's different. Yeah, that's not like actual living out.
Work, gym, skate park. That was my own.
And that's because you had blinders on because you had these goals that you wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, that tunnel vision really is like a thing.
So like, what are that? I know how you are now and like the things that you've watched and learned. What was it then that pushed you into that direction that I need to do this? Was it your own self?
I mean, like me and my girlfriend, we came together. She says, "Look, if you go out there for 8 months, you don't do anything." Like I'm gone. I was like, I don't want that. And I feel like I had to prove myself.
Yes.
Because I did it technically. Like, I put myself in a hole, and we're already in a hole. That whole COVID thing.
Right.
Sucked. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to keep going, keep pushing. I didn't want to fail.
Right.
Like that.
So that's what drove you.
It really did. I mean, I'm not I'm sure I mentioned too. She's gonna watch my grandma.
Yeah,
she's a cute actor.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She really helped.
Shout out to grandma.
She actually paid for the material for me to build that room.
That's awesome, man. And you went and picked it up and did it yourself. Shout out to grandma. Yeah. That's dope, man. We've had a conversation about how important our grandmas are and things like that. So grandmas are the best. Like even grandmothers, grandfathers too. Like I am always been a person that I like to hang out with older people. Like my grandmothers are my hearts. Like both of them I have that are still living. My one that just passed recently. They're like, I'd rather hang out with them than hang out with most of y'all niggas. So like, yeah. Like I'll sit there and chill and have a good day with like, you know, with elderly, and I've worked in nursing homes and like that. I just gravitate towards them. You know what I mean? It's just like a wisdom. There's no like bullshit.
No, they're straightforward. Maybe too straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did work at a nursing home too.
Did you really?
When I was 15.
Oh man. So what were you doing at the nursing home, man?
Serving.
You were serving? Okay. So you got to
every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was doing when I did it, I was doing recreational therapy. So like I was doing a lot of activities as far as like you know, bingo. I was doing bingo. I was doing freaking I was doing rock painting. But we were doing things with trivia, like music trivia, things that jog their memories and things like that. So that was a huge component for me, man. And I had this, you know, these couple ladies that, you know, every time I came in, they was like, you know, you can't, they would slap me on the ass like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Look at them like, you stop, girl. You gonna get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean? And then, you know, they would laugh and like, you know, but it was just like so pure.
Yeah,
so real
100%.
Great conversation. They would see when you were like having an issue. I'll come in some days at work and they're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Sit down. That's one thing that they always used to say, like, sit down. Because you're always moving, everything's going so fast. And when someone tells you to sit down, it's just like a weight lifted off your shoulder.
It's like, oh, whoa. Like,
it's comforting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when I go, you know, to the home, to Ohio, and I hang out with my grandma. That's one of the first things she always like, sit down. You know what I mean? Like, sit down, relax, and that puts me in my zone to just like, then I'm opening up. Then I'm being, you know what I mean? Then I'm just like this, I'm this grandkid. Yeah. Who's going to tell you, like, what's going on in my life.
I had like 4 grandmas in that nursing home, dude.
Yeah, see? And we had discussed with you recently, you were looking for one that you were really close with. You know, one of the residents that you're close with. I don't know if you had any more news on that or still looking.
Yeah, still looking.
Well, hopefully you find it because, like, I'm sure she is still also like, yo, what happened to it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in the back, you know, we don't give, a lot of times we don't give the elderly credit. You know what I mean? No. There's still a lot of mental swiftness there. I don't care if you're a dementia unit, which was my favorite because I used to go over there. They were super active. You know what I mean? They would have these
right?
So it was so ready to do anything. I walk in the door, they're like, all right, what are we doing today? I mean, they may forget, you know, like why I'm there, but like it was always warming for me to come in there and see like people ready to go and get work done and like, you know, we go on walks, we do plant flowers, you know, especially they love the trivia, man. The trivia will bring them back to like their time. They would sing all these trivia songs that they love and shit like that. So like, you know, I think it's a different person, makes you a different person when you can relate to the older people.
Yeah.
You know? And for me, it's been, again, like I said, my support system for so long that when you lose those, you kind of reach out where you're gonna grab to. So like, you know, shit fall, like you're in climbing up a cliff, right? And like, shit, this rock's gone. Like, how am I gonna maneuver to get it higher? Because like we talk about, you know, reaching and climbing, both of us. So we have goals that we want to get to. We have things we want to do. And how are we going to get there? You know, we need a support system. As stubborn as everyone is, you need a support system, man. And I know you know that, you know. And I definitely got to tell you, I definitely appreciate you being my support system for like, you know, the last few weeks. And like seriously, like it's been cool to like sit with somebody and like discuss real shit and like shit that I wouldn't tell someone that I've been hanging out with for fucking maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you connect on that wavelength, you know? And the last thing I want to bring about work, man, because this is all still about work. We cycling through work. You went down there for work. You did your shit, and finish the story. So you achieved your goal.
I kept going, and it's time to like trust me, like I have a dog. 𝗪𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗏𝗏 Melee.
Yeah, I love that. Videos are so we'll put his TikTok and everything up there. You'll see adorable videos of his puppy. Love it. But so you were accomplishing everything. So it took you. Did you leave in 8 months because you had already accomplished it?
Yeah, this is where be aware of yourself. You know what I mean? Like for 2 weeks, like before I left, like I just felt off. Yeah, like I was on a winning streak. I got it. I'm like, oh, I'm done. Like I'm about to be there. I'm gonna finish all my goals.
Yep.
Just felt off, and like I was there for so long, I like kind of got lost in the process.
Yeah.
So, like, when people say check yourself, dude, check yourself.
Right.
I was on the phone with my grandma, I was like, I don't know what it is, I just feel weird.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, I think I'm done. Like, I'm done.
You just felt it.
My time's up here.
Yeah.
Like, I need to go home. And
right.
After I said that, like, just opening up, see, like, talking to people really helps. Because after that, clarity. Complete clarity. I was like, all right, I'm about to go home, this is what I'm going to do, and then here's my next goals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what I want to do next.
And that's again, you doing that shit at such a young age, and it's so cool that you were just able to, like, feel it and say, yo, I know what I need to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you stayed there a little longer, who knows? It could be, you know, some other situations that happen.
Me and my girl could have broken up. I felt me. I was like, I think if I keep going this way, we're gonna drift apart.
Right.
Because dude, your mind was away, bro.
Like, you're in Florida, you know, different world out there, right? Yeah, man. And
we still stayed strong together. Like, we were there.
And you know, in talking to you, you know, I think that support system is what, because you went through shit there. You know what I mean? Like, talking to your dad and hearing him say like the shit that he was saying, like, that would just instantly put me into like a dark place. You know? Yeah, and like to me, make me seem like, hey, why am I even here for? Like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? But you turned it into, all right, well, I'll make my own spot. I'll make my own situation. Like, I'll get out of your hair if you want. But I'm gonna do my own situation, and I'm gonna accomplish my goals, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah. So that is
literally, that's how I felt. Like, he downgraded like everything I did. Like,
right.
He really did. I mean, you know, like, choices. Oh, why are you eating that? Like, so worried about me. And, like, this is where you gotta be aware. You know, like, really, like, dissect, like, why is someone saying a certain percent?
Right.
Like, you just realize, like, he wishes he was in
that miserable.
You know what I mean? Like, really look at the situation. Jealousy.
Jealousy's big, man.
And that's the truth. Like, my grandma, his mom even said it. He's jealous.
He's jealous,
Because that dude doesn't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like,
and he can't make sense of life the way you can. There's a, you know, he's looking at you like, why, you know, how is he so, like, aware? How is he so, like,
exactly.
It's different. And I feel like I deal with that with family and friends too. Like, but now I'm on the page of like, hey man, I'm just gonna just go do with the people who are generally good people. Like, if I feel like some little weirdness, then I'm just gonna move a different way. There's no hate, there's no animosity. I don't care, family, friend. I'm just gonna go this way. You know what I mean? I wish you the best, but I'm gonna go this way just to protect my mental health. And you know, you did that, and I think that's why you succeeded. And again, you had that help. You had that backbone.
Even the people where we work, like, I can name like 7 people right now that would call me when I was in Florida. Right. Although I transferred, they thought they were never gonna see me.
They still check up on me.
They still check up on me.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. Like, the place to work is
right. And we had that discussion. You know, this will be our last topic about the work. We you had said that you never envisioned yourself to be in a company, or you never been in a company where you had so many friends. You made so many friends. Like, a job is a job, right, guys? We all know that work is work. It sucks. But like, if you can turn work into a place where, hey man, I'm meeting some really cool people. Like, I have a support system here. These are like, you know, because again, everyone works so much, especially you. Like, you're out here 6 days a week sometimes. It's you spend more time with your work people than your family. You're working more than you're with your family a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So these people you're actually seeing more often than your family, and you know, you're developing these relationships that like you said, are lifelong. One of the things you said that you know, even if you're frustrated about anything that happens during work day, is like, yo, I'm appreciative of the job I have. I met some cool people. Like, I have a foundation. You said you were talking about a video that you want to do about all the people you met along the way at this job, you know, and how they affected your life. Which is this is interesting. You don't see that at anyone's jobs that can do that and say that. You know, most people are like, yo, I hate my job. I hate it there, and that's it. You were able to say, hey, I have some tough days, but like, this outweighs that. Like, I have so much fun with the people I've met. These people are like essential in my life. Like, these are like actual, like, you know, maybe closer than family just because the bond you guys have grown.
Yeah, 100%.
You spoke. You spoke of that guy that was in PA, right? Was it?
Yeah, he now lives in PA because I actually inspired him to move back home. Because he realized, like, me being, like, we were good friends, like, you realize, like, oh man, I think I want to go home too. Like, you know, now he's back home in PA.
Yeah, man. So like, you were able to influence a guy who might have never, he's still to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
He was miserable there. He realized, as beautiful as Florida is, and I love Florida, when you got the right people around you, friends and family that matter.
It don't matter where you are. You could be in Dubai. If you don't have the right people around you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Bahamas, chilling, like, you're gonna get lonely real quick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that you were able to influence someone you just met. That, you know, hey, you can sense you're going through something, man. Like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you should think about doing this, relocating. And that person was so like comfortable with you and the person that you are, they were like, yo.
He didn't even have to say it. He didn't really say it. He didn't say it until I like got home. But when I left and I said goodbye to him, I saw it in his eyes.
Yeah,
he was so upset.
Right.
Like he was lost a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So.
And again, you don't expect people to reach out like that, especially like a stranger. Because I'm sure he probably had like, maybe no one reach out. You don't know. Because like, I mean, a friend, it's different than a parent. You know what I mean? Everyone's got to reach out. Yeah. A friend, you might not get that as much, but it could hurt you just as much or more. You know what I mean? Depending on how close you are to that person. So the fact that someone can see that, like you, and say, hey, man, I know this could be deeper than whatever else everyone else is thinking. You know what I mean? This could affect you even more. I'm seeing that it's affecting you more than maybe your other friends think. Hey, man, maybe you should move. You know what I mean? Maybe you should get out of that toxic environment and relocate.
So people need to be open, man. Don't be closed-minded.
Yeah.
Be open to hear something. Even if you think it's the right way, maybe listen to another option. Because it might.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Question for you. This is going to be one of our controversial questions. Can you be a former racist? A former racist. I know I just throw you off a little bit there.
You said you're
now, yeah.
A former racist.
A former racist. Now, I say that. I'll put this in context for you.
No.
That guy we hung out with, right?
Yeah.
That guy.
That old dude.
He obviously had racist ties before in his bone. He expressed that. Give you guys a little backstory. Me and Mike showed up at this job, and we get there and we step out. Initially, the guy's pretty friendly. We thought he seemed pretty friendly. Very loud, older gentleman. Loud, very like forthcoming, very talkative.
Really out there.
Yeah, we're trying to do our work. We're trying to get things done, and he's just talking to us, right? But during this process, I believe he was reading who I was, and I was reading who he was. Because I know I think he wanted to go there, but he wanted to make sure I was comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, with where he was going. So me being me, I like to talk to people. I'm just talking back to him. Like, he had an interesting life. He was like, he owned businesses. His family was well off.
Different continents that he was at.
Yeah. He had told us all the things. He was a former police officer growing up in the South. He had went to, these churches and these areas where it's predominantly white or predominantly black. I believe he said he was in Florida as well. So like the things he had went through, and I think he had said that he had wrote a book or something like that. He had been a part of books and things like that. He had family, his children were doing well off in life, and things like that. So like we started diving into who he was, right?
Yeah.
So the guy, he's loosely, I don't know what he said. What was he? I don't know what he was. He said he was. He wasn't
in his early days.
No, like what was his national, whatever, race, whatever.
Oh, I don't know. He sounded
British.
Yeah.
Well, he said they wouldn't accept him because he wasn't Italian, right?
Yes, he wasn't. I think he was Irish.
Irish, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where we got on the lines of like racism and how it wasn't just for African Americans, black people, right? He was trying to discuss how it was for Jews and how it was for, and again, on a completely different level, as opposed to racism and slavery.
Yeah.
But he kind of tried to, I don't know about soften the blow, but he was trying to compare a little bit of how he was being treated to how the mainstream shows how, African Americans are being treated, which is the mainstream, right? And the terms he used, he was just so loose with everything. When he said, he was talking about, Mexicans, he had terms for Mexicans, he had terms for Irish, he had terms for Italians, he had terms for everything. And it was like, I'm sitting there looking at this guy. And again, this is an older dude, so who am I to say, like, this is how this guy grew up, right? They grew up using this terminology.
He was old.
Old guy.
80?
80, yes.
He was old.
Yes. So, like, these are terms that he was normalized with, and he had, discussed with me of how he felt. Like, he had felt discriminated against many times because his wife was Italian or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So he said they never accepted him. They never, they used to talk bad about him. They used to say things about him. So he tried to equate that to maybe what I was going through in my life, as a black dude, a black man. And, he had said in one story when he was like, yeah, see? So he said this story about, he was a police officer at the time, right?
Yeah.
So, and how vivid he was and how open he was with this was amazing. He was confident.
Well, guts to admit.
It was guts. It was guts,
really
man.
Guts. Yeah.
So that guts honestly made me like think like, hey, maybe this guy has changed the outlook a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe he has. So the story goes, he was a police officer there. He got a call that said that there was an African American, there was a black dude in this neighborhood, a predominantly white neighborhood. He was bouncing a basketball, and this guy's old. So, you know what I mean? We see stories like this today or whatever. This guy's old. And he had said that he had stopped this guy, and he went up to the guy and said, what are you doing around here? And the guy said, just bouncing a basketball or whatever. And he said, no, you know you're not allowed over here. And he called him the N-word, right? Is that what yeah.
And he said, I know why you pulled me over.
Yeah.
And then the cop.
He said, no, you're not.
And he was like,
yeah, you're not supposed to be around this area, you N-word, right?
Yeah.
So this is real life, right? I'm sitting next to Mike, like
stranger.
Mike looked, and the look on Mike's face was so uncertain and nervous, and he was like looking at me as into like how I felt about it, which is dope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, I was like, and again, this guy's like 90, like Mike said. I'm like, you know, no, and I never caught that, but like, you know, he said that, but it led to he transitioned it to that's kind of how I was, and that's how our department was. That's how I was raised. That's how everything was around me. You know what I mean? He progressed in the story to say, hey man, I've done this for these organizations. I've met amazing people of all walks of life.
They put them in a spot where it can be culture.
Yeah. So yes, there you go. So from that situation, thanks Mike. From that situation, he was disciplined because it was a report file that, you know, obviously he was doing wrong. So his punishment was they sent him to an urban neighborhood, you know, with predominantly black people. And he said he learned a lot in life by being put in that situation and, you know, kind of seeing what the other people were, the other side, seeing why people were the way they were, seeing the toxicity in that neighborhood and the poverty, you know what I mean, and how these people had to deal with. So he discussed that with me, and I'm thinking in my head, you know, days later, I'm like, can you be a former racist? And I don't know the answer. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know how to clear. We're in America, the second
cases, I guess, you know, because I think people, they need to learn. And what's the only way to learn? Experience. Experience is like number one. If you don't go through any experience, you're not learning.
Right.
You're going to stay the same how you are.
Right.
You know, so him being in that new area, he learned a lot.
Right.
And he built a lot of connections. I mean, he mentioned too, like other cops would go there. He was like, good, because he wasn't in there, and other cops were. Yeah. They're like, how'd you do this? He was mentioning how he can handle that one neighborhood.
Yes, you're right. Right, because he had, and it wasn't all, and he also exposed some of, you know, the nitty gritty of the police force. He was like, yeah, sometimes I wasn't bothered in a certain group because I know there weren't nobody to play with, but like when things came down to it, I'm like, hey, you do this for me, I gotta do this for you. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy to, you know, to bring light on how it was back then. It still is the same way today. You know what I mean? Like, 100%. You know, but the fact that he immersed himself in the neighborhood and he kind of like made it a point to say, hey man, at first I was a piece of shit. I was a nothing. Like I was a racist. I was this. And then I got to work around these people. And some of his most influential people, he said in his life, are people of color. Now I hear that and I'm thinking like, is he blowing smoke up? Whatever. Like, but this person though, it got me to thinking, a person that's old enough to tell me these things and tell me these stories, this person must must have went through a transition. Because like the people that I am more like nervous about are the ones that are on down low about it. Like you're a closet person that you know what I mean? Like you're quiet about it. Like I show up and you're like, you don't give me much conversation. You're like, you know what I mean? This guy was more like, hey, I'm gonna fucked up. But I'm a different person now. I've done some cool shit in life. That guy, and again, when I say that guy did a lot, I can't even remember all the shit he did. I wish, you know, if you were listening to this somehow, reach out. But yeah, man, he did a lot of shit and super well off guy, he was saying, but normal down to earth dude. Yeah. So I pose that question to you guys. Do you think you can be a former racist? Now, if you want my commentary on that, it's situational. You know, I believe it's more. You can't be a former racist. It's just in you more than the other, more than that. You know what I mean?
Wasn't there that guy from Papa John's, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did.
He was like born with it.
Yeah. The CEO you're talking about, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. CEO of Papa John's, and you know, he had again, you grow up in these situations. If you're not forced into other situations, then you're going to stay in your own negative output, you know? I had to throw that on you. Dude, I had to throw that on you. Yeah. You didn't, hey guys, we didn't make him sweat too hard. That was the one I was going to throw at him, but that's good. Yo, speaking of, this fucker. Alright, so we're working together 2 days ago. Yeah. We both had fucking bowel issues like we were like 90 years old, right? We're in somewhere in PA, like a fucking 50-minute drive, right? Yeah. I've been drinking coffee all morning, like, you know what I mean? I was slamming them. It was I got to work early as hell. I'm slamming coffees, and like usually it doesn't affect me, right? And I'm one of those people that I can't poop in public, right? Whatever. I probably said it before, but I have to be home, whatever. This guy, right? So like, I'm sitting there, right? And we're at this house. He's like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom, dude. So we're finding. I'm like, yo, go over there. He figures it out. All of a sudden, we're leaving. I'm like, yo, I have to go now. Like, I'm cringing to see. I can't. I'm pulling up, yo.
I see this dude in the corner of my eye going like,
bro, I was doing push-ups and shit. I'm like, I get this shit. Like, yo, my stomach was going through my asshole. And, like, it was, like, the weirdest shit. Like, I never had it come on, so it was instant. I was chilling, and all of a sudden, I'm like, yo, we're in the boonies, y'all. We cannot find a place to go. Mike's like, yo, look at the GPS, see if there's any near gas stations. I'm typing the shit in, there's no signal. No. Like, I'm like, at this point, I'm about to pull over and get out and take a shit. And like that, we were like that. I was this close, right? We get into town, we go into this gas station. I walk into this little rinky-dink gas station. There's like 2 people in there, and like I had beeline for the bathroom. They know exactly what it was.
Especially it's that small.
It's that small. I'm in there for what? 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
You were. I'm sitting here scrolling. I'm like, damn, I had to turn the van off.
Yeah. I'm in there for a while. It was bad.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Here's a tip for people that do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just close it out.
Oh, is it? Oh, word. So, not gonna lie. Here's a tip. You ever turn the faucet on so they can't hear shit?
Yeah, I do all the time. Yo, I do that. Yeah, yo, I do that all the time. I do that, and just because I can do that at home sometimes, just because it's like
I don't like it when people hear it.
Yeah, you're here. Like I have a guest over, a friend over, a boy's over. Yeah, if I'm in my bathroom, I'm turning that shit on. I'm turning the water on. I might even fucking turn the shower on. Like
I lock the door. Like
yeah, yo. Bro. And that's another thing. People are like weird. Like I can't. If I shower or I'm shitting, I have to have the door closed. I don't know. People are like, yo.
I hear something. Me and my girlfriend getting heated argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't poop in front of her.
Yeah, man.
No, she can poop in front of me.
Fine.
Like laughs at it, and she really gets mad and hurt because I can't poop in front of her.
Yeah, man. I
can pee in front of her.
Yeah, no problem, but that's different.
Yo, I need my like space. Like, don't look at me. I'm hunched over and vulnerable.
It's a different level of intimacy, right? When you're pooping, it's just like for me, it's relaxing. It's like I need to sit down, not focus, but like relax. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like worry about who's out there. You know, my biggest thing is why I don't like pooping in public and things like that is because I think somebody's coming in. Like someone's ready, they didn't go to the bathroom, they're knocking. I'm not done yet. Yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm like, yo, I need my. Oh yeah. The person opens the door, you're like, I'm here. What's good? Like, you know what I mean? At home, you don't gotta worry about that shit. You know.
That happened to Joey at Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
So I hate me for saying it.
Yeah.
She got watched. She's like, oh. Yeah.
They were just looking at him like, what the? See, that's awkward.
She got walked in on him.
Yeah, man, I want to avoid that. So, like, if you have the water running or something, someone knows something.
Yeah, like, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, someone's in there.
Yeah, you're just blindly walking in this shit without, Yeah, I gotta stop doing that. So, all people that do poop in public or and all that, like, be conscious of people who are going to poop in public. Yeah.
Hit that knock, bro.
Knock, yell, scream, like, because, like, that's a really embarrassing moment.
It is, dude. Oh, my.
We don't, and that's not discussed enough. That's a fucking. Someone watching, and if you know them or not, it's just like, yo, you're catching so. Like they say, like with dogs and shit, like that's like the most vulnerable time is when that's when they look at you and like make sure you keep them safe. That's what I actually learned that recently.
Oh yeah, when they look at you.
Yeah,
they
don't make sure everything's good. Yeah, so like that's everyone's most vulnerable time. It seems like, and like for you to invade that space, ladies, guys, like no, just don't do it. Let people poop in privacy.
Schools, bro.
Yeah.
How does this happen? You recognize the shoes, so you know.
Oh yeah, like pooping up. Craig, what the hell you doing in there? Nothing, man. We talking about peeing, bro. Your parents are all the way fucking down. But yeah, that's why I never, even in school, man. In school, work, like unless it's an absolute like emergency.
Yeah, I gotta time to poop 5, 6 o'clock every day.
Yeah, but you're home though. That's when you get home. That's why my first thing I do when I get home is I don't do anything else but work to the bathroom, man. You know what I mean? And for me, I don't eat much during the day as far as like work shit. But like when I get home, I'll be ready to go, bro. Yeah. Well, that's fine. But yeah, we're gonna transition to manifestation. I forgot we've already been on here for over an hour. My bad. But I know we're keeping Mike here. Sorry, guys.
A lot of good info.
Yeah, definitely. I told you guys this would be a dope interview. So one thing that brought us really close together and kind of blew my mind, because again, not a lot of people I interact with are on the same page as like universe shit, manifestation, speaking things into existence, believing that you can do anything that you put your mind to, having the confidence in yourself to say, I've been through some shit, but I can still achieve and do all the things that I want to do in life. And we had connected on that. We had talked about a couple people that are on that wavelength. One thing you told me, because I was telling you my situation and, the things I was going through in life, and you're like, you had recommended a couple guys to me and a couple situations, a couple podcasts that like, hey, these things help me through dark times, and we don't speak on how like podcasts and things like that and certain individuals have helped you to, change your life as far as how manifestation works, how like speaking things into existence works and things like that.
So Charlie Rocket, I told you about.
Yeah.
I told you his thing is winning streak.
Yes.
That's kind of how Restless became. Like when I was in Florida, what kept me going
on, yeah.
Being restless. Restless is actually a disorder, but like I embrace it. Like those nights where you just can't fall asleep, your mind's just racing and racing. Like take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just keep going. Just don't stop.
Right. So you seen these guys and you said, hey, that like they embody like so like. What pushed you into that mindset that this is possible? Like what?
I just practical. Yeah, no, seriously. My mom was said it. Yeah, it's just stupid. Like, I told her like I wish I had it with me, but I was out of town. Like I tried what he suggested is like this notebook. Write things down.
Hey, I forgot. I started mine yesterday.
Oh, you did?
This will be day 2. Yeah, I started my notebook yesterday.
Like just writing things down. Like And there actually is like a statistic, like things are more likely to come true when you're writing down.
Right.
And like people like sticky notes. If you check, what does this say? Like this is my screensaver, my lock screen.
Right.
Things just to remind me.
Oh yeah.
Like, what to do? Like
So he has a list of things in his notes that needs to be in the back of his head. Like, would you want to share something?
No, yeah, you're good.
It was like no sugar, go to bed early, wake up early. Wake up early is big. That's a big thing for you, huh? Yeah, go to black. What was that? No making excuses. Huge. Yep. Huge for me. That's one thing I'm working on is making excuses, man. And it's not like
it's hard. It's just so like comes out like to make an excuse versus just accepting it
and pushing through.
Admitting to it, dude. Admitting to like a wrong or like what I was feeling like shit that day. I was feeling lazy. I actually was in a dark spot. Right. Admitting when you're in a dark spot is huge.
Yeah, it goes a long way. You're right. Yeah. And when I was seeing these and we were talking about them, and I was a person that like it's like I was maybe like a year ago. I was super on the manifestation train, and then life happened, and I kind of fell off. I'm like, oh fuck, is it real? Like, am I just wasting my time? But like I'm back, and then I get back. I go in and I get back into it now. I've been back into it for a while now. You have your bad days. Guys, it's okay to have a bad day. That's one thing, like, I've been discussing with people. We all are going to have bad days. Everyone has a fucking bad day or multiple bad days. You know what I mean? Or don't let it consume you. Yeah. Right? And you taught me that. You definitely helped me with that. Like, yo, some shitty shit happened, but, like, keep pushing them. You know what I mean? Like,
those things are meant to happen. If you weren't, like, thrown any struggles or any obstacles throughout your journey, you're never going to get stronger. You know what I mean? Like, we're just not going to get better. Like, can't just be all easy. It's got to be hard.
It's got to be hard, yeah, right. And we had talked about universe and manifestation of how there were certain instances in your life where you had felt that you were more connected to the universe than maybe a lot of people are. Like you've had reoccurring dreams, and we had discussed that. And I had reoccurring dreams that have happened to me about family members who have passed and things like that. And kind of saw it before it kind of happened, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Are you of the belief that everything is already mapped out, or and I know sometimes I go back and forth with that because I don't want to seem like it's all set in stone, like you can't do anything to change your path, right? You know what I mean? That would suck, right? We would all be like, what the hell am I living for? if it's already set. What am I doing?
Actually, I don't believe that. No.
Yeah.
Because I believe like even like the smallest little decision can take a whole turn.
A whole turn, right?
A whole turn. Like you create your own path.
Right.
Where you go, where you drive to, what gym you go to, the people you meet in that gym. Like, all these little decisions. They create your journey. Like at the end, I don't know. I feel like everything could take a turn just like that. Yeah. Calling into work one day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
could mess up. Yeah. No, you're right. And I was always of the belief, like, and I don't know where I'm at with it now, but like just because I've seen so many, like I have a lot of deja vu. Yeah. Deja vu is my shit. Yeah.
I've heard deja vu. Like I don't know if you ever heard. Is like when you get it, it means you're on the right track.
Really? Well, you know because you're in the spot you're supposed to be, right?
Like you're being recognized by something that hasn't happened, but you recognize it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Something weird. I don't know. I've heard that. Like it was a different view for me. I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, that does make sense. You know, for me when I get it early on at an early age, because I used to get it at an early age, it was like, fuck, like that means anything I do is already gonna be done. Like I can't change my path. You know what I mean? And as I've gotten older, I definitely came out of that more, and been more open to other things. But like the deja vu always freaks me out as far as like,
it's weird, like different,
just as far as like, hey man, because like, you know, it's not, it hasn't been like, it's mostly, you know, not bad or good, but it's mostly things that like, it's just up in the air. So like if it happens, it's like, all right, then this is supposed to happen, then the next thing I dream might happen too. You know what I mean? So like you have those dreams.
And there really is like a counterbalance to things. Like,
it's not gonna be good.
No.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a lot of good shit. It's gonna be like tragic shit or like meaningfulness shit. Or like that doesn't really matter. Like it's not gonna be like I'm not gonna see in fucking 10 years if I'm interviewing fucking, you know, the greatest artist or the greatest actor in the world at that moment. I'm not gonna see that. I'm gonna see like tragic, death, you know what I mean? Loss, you know what I mean? Like struggle.
And it's very easy to get sucked into that.
Yeah.
Going through things like that.
Right. Because it's like that's what you're seeing, so you're like you're gonna be in that position.
Yeah.
But you let me watch that Charlie Rocket interview, which was amazing. I don't know if you want to elaborate more of who he is and how his story is.
I mean, like I told you,
we're gonna tag him in this interview. Charlie Rocket, make sure you shout us out.
No, he was. I'm discovering from 𝗵𝗲𝗶𝘁𝗵, which is a podcast. I know 𝗵𝗲𝗶.
Yeah.
And just his story was just like.
Shout out to 𝗵𝗲𝗶, they're from Ohio.
Yeah. His story is just so inspiring. Like this is where people need to understand too. Is like when you think you got it bad, just remember someone has it worse than you. So be grateful for what you have.
Right.
Because it really is true. Like people are complaining, like feeling lazy. I don't want to go run, but yet the guy in the wheelchair is going to the gym every day. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. Ugh.
Yeah, you can say shit. Like, no, you're right. Like, but it takes a lot for people to get into that point of saying, you know what I mean?
But it's like being aware. Like go on YouTube. People like make fun of podcasts.
I know.
I think it's a new radio.
It is.
I love it.
It's an easy radio. It's a new radio. Yeah, if you don't fuck
and there's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, I fuck with that. I resonate with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I would say, just to interrupt you real quick, like people are in that, you know, my age group and yours. It's like they'll listen, but they don't really broadcast it if you listen. I found a lot of people who were like listen to podcasts, but they don't. You don't know it because they're like, oh yeah, listen to this podcast. Oh, I wouldn't know because they don't really put it out there like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I feel like a lot of us listen to our certain podcasts. Even people that listen to me, I didn't know. You know, you put your podcast out there, and people listen to it, but it's not like posting a song or nothing like that. I mean, you're putting an hour.
I mean, it's time consuming.
Yeah. And you might break it up in days. Exactly. You know, you start my podcast. This is probably
I do that all the time.
Yeah, you break it up in days. You know.
Exactly.
And you figure it out. So Charlie Rocket is a guy, and then he, you know, remember what the hell was the story? He was Soulja Boy manager, right?
Yeah.
So he started out as Soulja Boy manager, and from what I gathered, he was fired, right?
Yeah, he got fired. So like, here's the thing: like, you keep going. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. Like, he was a manager, fired, and then he was a photographer or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, videographer.
Video. Then fired.
Right.
Manager, fired again. Managed a new group, got some success, and he made millions. And guess what? Brain tumor, 305 pounds, overweight, setback.
Yep.
And then he come with new goals. 300, like you got down to 2. You got to like 2 something, but he did an Ironman.
Ironman.
Trained years for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know if I can do it either. I would try. And
that'd be fun too.
The fact that he even, had the wherewithal, like that could kill a guy who's been through so much traumatic,
especially what he has going on.
Yeah, brain tumors and all that weight loss, that could literally kill the dude. And the fact that he was able to, put it in his mind that, hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna write it. And then this is the shit that he's talking about. You write the shit down and get a notebook, guys. Get whatever. Get sticky notes. Do it on your phone. Just write something down every day. And I don't know if it works. Yeah, I've just started on it. Yeah. But like this story definitely put me in the direction of like, yo, this guy is like mapping his life out. He's mapping his own life out. And if you want to continue about all other shit that he's done, because he's continued to do things like he didn't think he was gonna be on the cover of fitness magazine.
Yeah, but he's not fit. He doesn't have a six pack, but he's on the fitness magazine.
Right. Like how? Exactly. He's an athlete, right?
Manifesting, running.
Yeah.
Found something he was good at. He did running.
And we had talked about it. I was listening to him. He said that he was on this. He wrote in his book that he would do a commercial with LeBron James and Serena Williams.
Yep.
He's not an athlete, guys. If you look at this guy, he's not an athlete. He did an interview, or he did a commercial with LeBron James and Serena Williams. Like, where does that come from?
Exactly. If it's not true, then prove it wrong.
Right. Like, that is insane. He brought the book onto the show, opened the book, Paul was looking at it. These are things that he actually wrote down and accomplished. Years ago.
Not like the day before, years ago.
Years ago. So yeah, don't think that, you're going to write something in your book and then it's going to happen.
Yeah, next day it's not going to Santa Claus.
Right.
But it eventually will, because there's another thing, the whole what you look for is what you'll get.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When you get in that new Impala, now you see Impalas everywhere.
We did, we
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talk about that. Just what you look for is what you will receive.
Right.
Wake up, say I'm gonna have a bad day. You're gonna have a bad day. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Right. So the negativity again, it's like negativity is gonna follow. Negative attracts negative. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Negativity attracts negativity, and that's one thing I've tried to get across to my friends and things like that. And I generally hang out with positive people, but it's hard to get someone out of something they've known their whole life.
Yeah, at that point they're just not ready to admit that they're vulnerable. They don't want to feel that way. They don't want to look that way. They don't want to look weak, or talk about it, because then they're gonna be like, oh, now he's higher than me. It's some weird elephant.
It is. And have you? So I told you I started mine. Have you been doing a book and writing, or are you doing it on notes? You haven't done it?
I've done it more actually.
Okay, that's good.
On my notes.
You'll post goals you have and things that you want to do in life.
Yeah, doc notes. Just things that resonated with me throughout the time I was in Florida.
Right.
I just wrote things down. Certain days how I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me be more aware of myself.
Right.
What I was looking for.
Right. Yeah. And worst comes to worst, whatever it is, being aware of yourself, that's a big point of it. You know what I mean? Writing that shit down is this is what I want, but I'm choosing myself. I'm thinking about myself. I'm self-aware of who I am and what I want to get to and what goals I want to get to. And that, I think a big part of it is that shit's in the back of your head when you write it. When you write this in your notebook, it's in the back of your head. So throughout your day, you're working towards get to that goal. You know what I mean? And then you're subconsciously doing it without even really paying attention to it. You're like, okay, I wrote it down in the morning, but hey, I might take this interview. I might reach out to this person for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's getting you to the goals that you want to get to, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
And that's when you showed me and I was in disbelief because he had told me about this guy and I hadn't heard of him. I followed him on Instagram, and then we had watched some videos on our drive, and I'm like, yo, this is even the Paul dude was shocked.
Yeah. He's successful, dude.
Yeah.
So he was shocked. He was like, what? You know what I mean? Surprised in that.
Right. And it's not like he's not the most professional or the most he's him. You can tell.
Yeah.
He's him, man.
His tone of
yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah, he's Atlanta to the core. And again, this is a skinny white dude, and he's Atlanta. He was Soulja Boy's former manager and things like that. Oh, 2 Chainz. He had worked with 2 Chainz. He was at 2 Chainz' wedding. You know what I mean? And he had taken the steps. This guy was at the bottom, and he had dropped out or some things like that, or he didn't finish high school, and then he had told his mom, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the mom looked at him like she was crazy.
But she's so supportive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's key, guys. The support is the fucking key, man. Support is the key. I'm always a person that says I can do anything independently, just because I've been built that way my whole life. So
I agree on that.
But I can say though, I'm much better when I have a support system, and whether it's a girlfriend, friend, Yeah.
That's a good example right here. When I was younger, what I realized is I hated playing video games alone.
Yeah.
Dude, I hated playing solo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I would go to the game store, my grandma would bring me.
Yeah.
I'd always look for co-op games.
Yeah.
Co-op. I hated playing alone. It's just there's no team, there's no joy by yourself with it. Like,
right.
That's and I noticed that when I was younger. Like,
now, do you think that's translated to anything as you got older? I mean, you probably
do. Like, I would rather be in a team than
a solo.
Like, it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, because you're interacting with people. You're working towards a common goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that even video games and life. You know what I mean? And that seems like where you're heading in life. And I know you have ambitions to do great things with your clothing line. Do you want to elaborate on what you're gonna be doing with Restless and things like that? And what kind of merch you're gonna be having?
I mean,
and where's it come from? Where does the name come from?
Restless? Because of just how I was feeling. I actually looked it up one day. I was like, yo, like, what is going on? I can't sleep. I can't do this. Like, like my heart's always racing. I literally had to like shove melatonin like gummies, so just to fall asleep. Right. And it's like, it's like Restless. I was like, you should turn into like a restless energy type deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is weird.
You're kind of flipping it. Yeah. Right.
It's like being restless. Like, don't stop. Keep going. Like, when you're feeling those thoughts, just like channel that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. I mean, I looked it up. Like, there's no brand. Like,
which is dope. Yeah,
I want to do it. It's just like,
hey,
be restless.
Make sure we take that name and before you trademark it. No, man, and that's dope. And so you want to
resonate with me, and I want to see if it resonate with other people too.
That's cool, man.
Like, they're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's like, but I have this feeling, but I don't know what to do with it. It's like, be restless about it.
Yeah. Let it consume you, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let it consume you.
Like,
let it take over you. Let the restlessness be your power to push on. You know what I mean? And that's I've always been pretty good at just like, fuck it, I gotta push on and like. But now like it's more of like, hey, I can reach out to somebody. I can reach out to you. Reach out to a couple of my other friends. Like, yo, I'll stay in the house for fucking 2 months and I do nothing just because like my mental health is not like where it needs to be. You know what I mean? So like I got a job for a little bit and my friends have been accepting of that. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't see them, but I'm not like going out to bars and shit like that just because like, you get social anxiety and things like that. But like me coming out and saying, like a couple years ago, I wouldn't be able to say like, oh, I gotta stay in the house because I'm not mentally well. Yeah. Like that sounds weird as fuck.
I took a me day.
Yeah.
I took a me day last week.
Yeah, man. So when you need another one, when the hell is your next one? Your next me day.
I don't do it too much.
You don't do it too often.
I like cuddling my girl.
Yeah. Oh, see, I'll now turn this shit off.
But not like going to the gym is like a reset for me.
Right.
Like it resets my mind. Like I'm feeling stressed. Like for people that do go to the gym, you're not going to the gym just because you feel like shit. Yeah. Those are the days you want to go.
Right. We had said that because I gotta admit I've been slacking. Mike's been trying to get me in there, but I was like when I heard he was coming back, I'm like. I'm going, yeah. I said every day. Yeah.
I know why I've been sick this week.
See, and we both been under the weather with a cold. Relax, everybody. Yeah. So we struggled through the week, but we're like, fuck it, let's cut this shit out, and we're gonna make this interview happen. And like, it was funny because I know you're going back home. And it would have sucked if we didn't have this dope ass interview. I was like, yo, and I gotta give you kudos. Yeah, I gotta give you kudos because like I was like in the mindset of like, what I text you.
I really thought we weren't gonna do it. I was like, damn, bro. What I text you.
What I texted you yesterday, I said, yo, my energy is like who I am. I was like, I got no energy. Like,
you see what I said? I said, dude, let me bring that energy.
That's what I'm saying. And like, I looked at that shit today and I was like, yo, we're supposed to do this. Yeah. And like we're gonna come back and do this shit again. I'm sure we're gonna do like maybe one day we'll fucking host some shit together. We're gonna do this again a couple times, a couple more times and more and more. And I was like, yo, I would miss out on a dope interview. Cause like you don't get that situation where men sit down and have these discussions. Men we don't have these discussions. Why? I don't know. I don't know what the science is behind it, but
I think it's just like an alpha thing, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another thing, like egos is huge, man. Like, and I like to think I don't have one, and I don't think we all have a little bit.
Bro, I still do to like a certain point.
Certain things. You gotta have some edge and ego, but like, when you're sitting down, I think that's what it is. You're like, you don't want to tell your boy like I'm fucked up, like I got shit going on mentally. You know what I mean? And because I'm sure they do too. You know what I mean? But they're not gonna. No one's gonna come back with you like. We don't know what to say to the person. I think that's a big thing too.
Yeah, you don't know how to start it. Like, how do you start it?
Yeah, I'm like, well, nigga, you be alright. Like, hey, you want a beer? Oh, you want a beer? You want a drink? That's what it is. It's like, yo, you want a drink? Like, if you're going through the shit, our guy instinct is like, let's go have a drink. Let's get drunk. You know what I mean? So we gotta change our we gotta change that. We gotta sit down more because like I think that's gonna make us better for our partners. You know what I mean?
No, like being like, and I didn't really learn that until like I started dating.
Yeah.
Like,
so she opened
I was like the way how I was raised. Like, yeah, I love my mom. My mom was me. But like I mentioned, like, we weren't really like emotionally connected.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just did my own thing.
Yeah.
Independently. And when I went to Joey's, like when I came into Joey's life, her parents like they looked at me as like selfish. But like in my house, like
for not being super connected to
and like willing to like just stop not going to the gym. And help them out.
Oh
I didn't realize like I'm selfish as fuck.
Right. But are you?
I should not go to the gym to help them out for a day.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the gym's always gonna be there.
It's gonna be there.
If someone really needs you, like be there for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I get that.
Put your needs aside for once.
Yeah. Right.
If you're always doing your needs, like you're selfish motherfucker.
Right. And I get that. Yeah. The aspect of like, hey, take a couple days off. Like, I can help you. I could be doing more. You know what I mean? And again, for you to realize that, and was it a weird transition to think about? Like,
it took time. They still probably will say,
life's fucking working.
I'm like, no, like, mine had like, yo, I'll take out the garbage when I get home. Like, why?
Yeah.
Trying to go to the gym.
I'm trying to get the gym taken care of.
You could have just did it when you walked out the door. I'm like, right, maybe you're right. I didn't think about that.
Right, no, because we had that, and I told you, like, my window for the gym is weird. Like, where I feel like I perform the best. Yeah. I'm usually a 3 to 6 person. That area window, I feel like my body reacts the best. I think because I see sunlight and shit like that. But like you said, you can go in early or some shit like that. Like, I can't get in there.
Dude, be challenged.
Yeah.
You never know. You'll surprise yourself.
So you rather go in earlier rather than later. And you work out.
Sure, I would always like went nighttime and like we have so much time in the day. Yeah. People may not realize we waste a lot of it.
We waste a lot.
We really waste a lot.
We do.
Like you don't need 12 hours of sleep. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, like for real.
I wish I've had a fucking 12 hours of sleep ever in my life. Yeah. But we get like 6. Yeah. Maybe 4.
I ain't gonna lie. How many times you get home and like people?
You're right.
Like,
no, you're right. You're right.
Like,
and this whole week, because we've been, you know what I mean? I've been dealing with this cold bullshit. I've been saying every time I get home.
I know, I do that shit, bro. Sometimes you need that. I'm not gonna lie, like you need to relax.
Relax a little bit, yeah.
But like if you're slacking on like shit to do around the house.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I've been fucking, like I said, like my podcast, what we talked about it, I said it's done great, and I appreciate you guys, honestly, seriously. But the consistency hasn't been there. You know what I mean? Like I've only dropped like 15 episodes, and it's just because the consistency, things happen in life, and I kind of drift away. Because I feel like that might be more important than I'm dealing with at that moment in time.
100%.
You know, when this is probably like my, I love doing this. This is some shit I want to continue to do for like my whole life, and I want to get better and expand, and you know what I mean? And also combine platforms with people and fucking put other people on. That's like my goal with this shit. So how can I stray away from something I'm so like, I love and want to do? But like mental health, dude, that shit will get to.
But that's why podcast is good, bro. Like, everyone like who's listening, like be aware of it.
This episode better get probably the most downloads we've ever done, especially on YouTube. Make sure you check the shit out on YouTube because it'll be on audio first. I haven't checked the day yet, so it's gonna be next week. I don't know what day. You guys know usually I drop on Friday, so it'll probably be Friday. I'll meet with Mike and I'll send some shit back and forth, make sure he's approving of it, and we'll be right back on the track. And we'll start doing weekly shit, and I'm sure you guys will see Mike again. We'll put his socials. We'll put his socials in the fucking in the video, and you guys can make sure you follow him, comment, and things like that. Man, Mike, this has been amazing. I appreciate you. I didn't think it would go an hour and a half.
I told you. This is gonna go for a minute.
I didn't think it would go an hour and a half, man. I really just appreciate you for. It's just weird, like you said, like people. And I was stuck when I saw like a dude that replicated one of my closest friends from back in the day. I walked in the door, and it's just insane how life works. That I would have, a strong connection with you, just like I had with my boy.
Everything happens for a reason. Bro.
Yeah. You say that. No, yeah. You've been preaching me that like everything happens for a reason. And that's another one of the reasons I want to get this great if you done. I'm like, yo, we're supposed to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like this is supposed to happen. Hopefully, this is enlightening for a lot of you guys, especially men, women. Keep pushing, man. Like we all go through shit.
Yeah, honestly, like here's a couple things. Just like if you're unhappy where you're working, don't just settle it. Even if you're gonna get a good retirement, it's not worth it. You only get one life. Which, like I said, this is not a practice life. You don't know if you're gonna get another one. Yeah. So don't waste any time. You know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna give away my age. I've had a lot of jobs for how old I am. Okay, and it's like which was also frowned upon because it's like that old traditional, like you need to find a job, get a good
Stay
retirement,
warm.
stay there.
Yep.
Don't listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would not be where I'm at if
I
it
agree.
wasn't for my choices.
For your choices to say, no, I'm gonna go against the grain.
So like, don't settle for less. Keep going. If you're unhappy, dude, there's unlimited jobs, especially now.
Yeah, right now.
Especially now.
Right now is the time.
Saying, like,
we talked about that. If you want to change careers right now, the time is now. Like, you have leverage, man. Like,
yeah, seriously.
you have leverage. You know what I mean? You can ask for
don't think so. Like,
yeah. Go up there and act like you have leverage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Present yourself.
Yeah. Be like, hey, I'm someone you want to hire. I'm someone you want around your facility.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you don't know what to say. Here's good 3 things. I'm good at multitasking. I'm reliable. I love working overtime. Those 3 things.
They bro.
Okay, come right here.
Yo, Mike about to have y'all working fucking 80 hours a week. Don't come to me with that. Like, make sure I tell Mike he's the one that got y'all doing that. They're like, yo, I fucking have a day off. And I'm like, but yeah, like you said though, all jokes aside, those are keys though. Those are keys. You know, say those things in interviews. Present yourself. Like, be yourself, man. Because like, you get like, if you're faking this stuff for so long, it gets exhausting. And I can say that.
And you might even develop to become fake.
Yeah,
right?
That could be your whole persona.
Exactly.
That could be your whole persona. And like, you know, me and Mike had conversations about like, I've been on this, you know, change of late of just like, no nonsense, man. Like, people who take more out of me than they've ever given to me, or offered to give to me, as far as, I mean, that could be emotional.
Yeah.
It could be, you know what I mean? It could be spiritual. Anything. Like, I've started to cut off. But, and then I was telling him, I've been seeing like shifts and momentum with myself and like universe shit, and some cool things have happened. Like, we got the 𝗵𝗵, we'll be doing merchandise where we collaborate with 𝗵𝗵, so we'll be doing a lot of merchandise, so I'll be giving out to you guys, or, you know, we'll have a store. We'll have a store where you guys can buy merchandise. I'm looking for designs, so if you guys got some cool designs, shoot me with them. But yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, man, definitely. So, and I met with this lady. You know, we're gonna do some work, and shout out to 𝗵𝗵. But yeah, so like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you go through life, man. You go through so many things. It's just like, sometimes you gotta fucking just slow down, man.
Oh, 100%.
And that's one thing I've been learning.
Go 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're like 80.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Instead of 100, do 80. Guys, instead of 100, do 80 unless you're driving. Don't do that shit, because like, you lose your license. But yeah, man, Mike, I appreciate you, brother. Again, this was an interview with Bradley Cooper.
The hair story.
The hair, yo, I'm never gonna let you live that story down. On his marriage day, I'm gonna bring this shit up. So like, you guys get used to this shit. But man, I appreciate you, bro. I really am appreciative that I met you. Dude, you've been a fucking breath of fresh air in my times of, you know what I mean? In my times of weirdness, and my times of fucking, you know, where I could just cuddle up and fucking take away and tell the world to leave me alone. You're like, yo, get the fuck up and push on, man. And I appreciate that. Yo, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I'll leave all his stuff in the bios and things like that. Make sure you fuck with this episode. Make sure you share it. I want to see comments on this one. This is a great episode. We're gonna keep doing these ones. This is the start of everything. Yo, you guys have a great day. Fucking push. Manifestation is real. Any last word, Mike?
If you're questioning a lot of things, here's a good way. Picture yourself as a fire. If you're questioning people around you, pick the ones who are building it. Take the ones out who are putting it out.
Okay, yeah. That's a great analogy. Absolutely. Yo, take those words, take them, soak them in. Be great human beings. That's one thing I've always said on this shit. Like, be a good human being, man. If you're just a good human being, things will happen for you. Yo, I appreciate you guys. This is the Westside Noise Podcast. I love y'all. See you soon. We're out, yo. I ain't gonna stop it. Yo, that was fucking an hour and a half, yo.
Bro, I told you that shit was wrong.
Yo.
When you said, all right, like,